So here we go. Let's just start it off. I've got a couple of slow pitch kind of softball questions that we'll get started with. These guys will knock them out of the park. Then we'll switch and have a few questions that we received. We received lots of questions from students. We picked a handful of them to start off with. And I guess I would start off by just asking the panel, what is it that the clients that you work with and people like me still don't get that you think is some of the fundamentals of this new media communications that we're all striving to master? And what do you wish that we all knew more clearly than we seem to?
So the fact is, right now, compared to a few years ago, we are all hyper-connected to content, to answers, to brands, to entertainment, to media, and to each other all the time, no matter where we are, no matter what device we're on. Here's a perfect example, and the challenge again becomes, how do you do this at bigger scale? So last night, it's 10 o'clock, I'm grading papers, and I'm using this platform called CourseKid, which calculates grades. It has a stream for student participation. It lets students submit everything digitally. I put in all my grades, and I put in the notes and the reactions to all the stuff, and I hit save, and bang, everything's gone. I'm going, oh my God, I didn't save it anywhere else. I only put it on that page. I didn't make a hard copy first. It's disappeared. So I'm flipping out, and I just tweet out there, flipping out. CourseKit has let me down, right? So literally within 6 or 8 minutes, max, I get a tweet back. We're really, really sorry. We were stuck in a meeting, just came out, saw your tweet, tell me what happened. Boom. I email them, and he sends me back right away. Send me your phone number, and literally, start to finish, with 15 minutes later, the head engineer at 10:15 last night is on the phone with me, digging through the servers on Amazon, finding the old cache, and telling me, I've got it. And he's doing it from a mobile phone, telling me, I'll have everything restored for you tomorrow morning. And I'm thinking, wow.
One of the things that Edward's talking about here, and one of the things that we always have to think about, is flow, like flow, like Zen. How things move smoothly. And I always used to yell at the scavenger guy because Seth Prebatch, he wanted to build a game layer on top of the world, and it was going to be awesome. Like, you're going to be able to find fun everywhere you go. And it wasn't fun. Scavenger wasn't fun. It was fun in certain places because there was gaming aspects where they did scavenger hunts. But when you go to like JCPenney and whip out Scavenger, you weren't going to be, oh my God, yes! I'm going to leave a text message or a picture or something, I'm going to get points for it, and nothing's going to happen. Yeah, that's not fun, So I told them every time you click on it, it should be fun. So that what they did was they came up with this totally different concept, Level Up, which is, the social location, mobile commerce. It's not about a check-in. It's about paying, which we're going to do anyway, and it makes paying easier. And it's not about buying a Groupon in advance and hedging whether I'm going to go to like some cafe or get a facial or an ass waxing 10 cents from now. It's about, I'm going to a place and I need that deal right now, and I pay and I get it.
Gets back to that invisible sign everybody wears, make me feel important. Brands act like people, people act like brands. Edward was so impressed with that vendor earlier because they made me feel important. Within 15 minutes, this problem was solved, right? People who are making the hiring decisions for where you're going to be in your careers also want to feel important. And if you're not following us on Twitter and other people within the organization, if you don't know about me or my company or the clients that we work with, why should I invest in you if you have not invested in me?
And it's not a selfish thing, or it's not like an ego thing. The other part of it is you need to demonstrate that you know how to use this kind of stuff. If I went around and interviewed all the top strategy people and all the top, some of the top creative people and some of the top digital people and asked them collectively what would the advice be that they would give to new people, so that they would all say, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not reading a resume. I'm not looking at an email from someone with whom I haven't already had a relationship online with for at least 6 months.
I don't think brands are authentic. Their authentic interest is in being profitable. And I think to talk about your desire to be profitable in a brand is not only boring, but feels kind of skeevy to most people. I just wrote about this recently. Very few people get online in order specifically to interact with brands. It's okay if brands are there tangentially if they are adding value. And I think that, to me, is what authenticity now comes from providing value to the people who are interacting with you.
I think there's a lot of brands and marketers are scared to death of their customers. It's weird to me that brands and clients hire us to do their social media. We tweet for them. We Facebook post an update for them. We interact one-on-one with their customers for them. It's sort of like they're so far removed from one-to-one conversations with customers that I think it's impossible for them to be transparent and authentic. They think of, you know what their customers are? The customers are like these data points on a spreadsheet.
I just celebrated my 20th wedding anniversary yesterday, and I wake up at 6 and don't leave my wife's presence until 8. Don't get up to take a shower, don't get up to walk the dog. We just hang out and talk for 2 hours. She's my touchstone.
Yeah, wow.
That's how you do it.
How many kids do you have?
I knew these guys were gonna make me look bad, but I didn't expect it in that way.
Then I go to work and I'm online, I'm in social all day long, and you know, it becomes overwhelming. I noticed yesterday, about 2 years ago, unfollowed everybody on Twitter and said, I'm just gonna start from scratch and start to follow. You know, there's 100 people I know I wanna follow or I know I have to follow. And now here I am 2 years later, up to 4,000. And I realize 4,000 is too much for me. I'm feeling antisocial not because I don't want to interact with these people, but because it's just too much. And I use the Twitter.com website. I don't use like TweetDeck or anything like that.
The secret for me, I guess, of being social on the phone is to find, you know, group circles or whatever that I want to be social with and that I need to interact with a lot. So I mean, that's what Path has done for me. I don't know who's using Path. I know a lot of you are using Path, but some of us are in Path together. But it's like Path, it's interesting because there is this ability to kind of spray out. You can put stuff on Path that you can push to Twitter, to Facebook, to Foursquare, and to Tumblr. And I think it's a better front end for any of those from a mobile perspective. The thing that I really like about it is it's about 50 people, and every time I get a notification from Path, it's from somebody that I care about, that I actually want to see their content, wherever that is, whatever they're doing. So I've found ways to cull the noise, and then also in Twitter, I've done the same as you. I can follow about 2,700 to 3,000 people and feel like it's not too much of a fire hose, but and then still have interaction. But I don't know. Cloud calls me a broadcaster, so I guess I'm not doing a very good job. Everybody who comes into Allen & Garrison, I want them to think of themselves as a creative in some way, shape, or form. And it's not that you have to have context, and you have to know social, and you have to know the tools, and you have to know what people are trying. But you have to be willing to take that to the next level. We can't just do the same things over and over and over again. We can't say, well, Giovanni did it this way on Pinterest, therefore Hannaford should do it the exact same way on Pinterest. It can't be that way. It has to be all right, well, we understand what's effective, and we need to come up with a new, better, more awesome, more effective, more cutting through the crap idea.
But not only for the client, I think for the agency. I mean,
Exactly.
That Edward said earlier about the muscle memory piece. You know, you walk into an agency that's 10 years old as ours is, there's certain things that we've been doing for 10 years that we're still doing that may not make as much sense today, but because it's what we've always done, people still get trained when they come in the door to do some of the same things that we would have taught them 10 years ago. Some of which will be applicable and appropriate, some of which needs to evolve. And we're looking for those youthful, aberrant thinkers to say, okay, I totally get what you're saying here, but can we also try this and this and this? It's the people who say, can we try X, that I want to hire.
Hackers.
Yeah.
And always remember this, never ask permission.
Only forgiveness.
Always ask forgiveness.
Exactly.
How many people have heard the expression T-shaped person? Good, so you were listening. There is this term, hybrid T-shaped person, whatever, in the business these days. And again, if you just went back 5 years ago, we could all work in silos. Writers and art directors could work all by themselves and make some ads. And media people could work sort of by themselves and do plans and buys. And account people could, relate to the client, and then they could pass some messages on. And digital people could build some stuff on the internet. And they didn't have to be this kind of interaction. We can't, none of you guys can know how to do all of those jobs. You need to be an expert at something. The writer, the designer, the information architect, the developer, etc. That's on this vertical axis, right? So I know one of these very specific things. But because this is all working together, across the top is the top of the T, is you also need to be the top of the T, meaning you need to have a really, really clear understanding of all of those other roles and what they do, how they make a contribution, how to see the world from those other perspectives, even if you don't do that job. Have a sense of how they fit into everything. Because if you don't have that T perspective, I don't think you can be a part of the future.
So, in conclusion, I had really high expectations for these three guys. I knew they were going to be funny and fun and provocative and smart, and they exceeded my expectations. I hope and assume they did yours as well. So please join me in thanking our three panelists.